Thank you, Toastmaster. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters guests. I love you. Do you? When these words were first said to me in 2018, they were said by a beautiful woman. So I paid attention. I was confused. Had I heard it right? I love you. Do you? I was anxious. I didn't want to blow it. How should I respond? If asked, do you love you? I think most of us would respond, yes, of course I love myself. But why do we still have negative, self-destructive thoughts? And sometimes even behaviors? And why do they creep up on us when we least expect it? In recent times, I think one of my heroes, Oprah, probably shares some of the blame for popularizing the idea of showing yourself a little love. But if we look deeper into history, I think we're forced to ask the question, does hate, greed, envy, murder, strife, gossip, slander, arrogance, and pride all result from love of self? Is love of self a sin? Maybe. It depends on what you mean by love. It is, after all, just a word. Love. Are you feeling it or are you thinking about it? What does that tell you about yourself? Is it an idea or is it a state of being? I think it would be arrogant of me to claim to have perfected an answer for you. And I also don't think it would serve you well for me to trot out a quaint, well-researched quote at this stage. What I believe is that something better reflected on for yourself to find your own meaning that you can ultimately share with others. I spent an impoverished year doing just that, searching for an answer. All I could come up with was persistent existence. The idea is that you know you love yourself if your thoughts, feelings, and actions are aligned with your continued existence. But it would be a lonely place if you persistently existed alone. So maybe it would be a good idea to help those closest to you do the same. Persistent existence. Possibly it seems a little underwhelming as the meaning of love. Maybe it depends on your perspective. Maybe it depends on how much you take your existence for granted or not. Now, if it's worth having, it's worth monetizing. We love money, and we also love being well and healthy. The Global Wellness Institute tell us that last year we spent $8 trillion on health and $4 trillion on wellness. Now that's a whole lot of loving. According to them, the top 10 wellness trends for 2022 are, drum roll please, at number 1, dirty wellness. At number 2, toxic masculinity comes clean. And at number 3, from wellness tech to technological wellness. And at number 4, senior living disrupted. Number 5, wellness travel, seekers welcome. And at number 6, innovation technology, closing the gender gap in medical research. And at number 7, urban bathhouses and wellness playgrounds. Number 8, next gen naturalism. And at number 9, health and wellness coaching gets certified. And number 10, wellness welcomes the metaverse. Now, I'm not going to get into each of these. That's not the point. The point I'm making is that there are lots of ways to buy yourself love if you want to. Or you could opt for wellness self-love. Free and simple. To their credit, the same organization, the Global Wellness Institute, promote the view of economist Terry Malloret. He says, wellness is not a consumer endeavor. In other words, you don't go shopping for it. He goes on, there are many formulas for well-being, all straightforward, highly effective, and hardly monetizable. He promotes the idea that a cost-benefit analysis for wellness is long overdue. Oops, back to monetizing love. Keeping things simple. Who loves their food? Who has tried to change the way they eat with an eating plan or diet? Why why are there so many diets or eating strategies out there? There's Banting, ketogenic, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, Weight Watchers, intermittent fasting, paleo, Atkins, raw food, just to name a few. Maybe you follow them, maybe you've tried them. Now, this is just an observation because I'm not here to tell anyone what to eat or drink. Where do we live? Western Cape, South Africa. What's the climate here? Mediterranean. Which is the most widely researched and accepted diet? The Mediterranean diet. I don't have time to get into detail, but when I realized this, I found this book, Cape Mediterranean, the food we love to eat. And I started growing these. Artichokes, very good for you. Pairs well with a Pinot Grigio or Sauvignon Blanc. Also good for you, but in moderation. Life doesn't have to be so hard. Showing yourself a little love should be easy. And if you truly love yourself, you'll want the company of others who share your positive outlook. I love you. Do you? The idea of my feelings, thoughts, and actions aligning with my persistent existence has been my guide. It will be fascinating to understand what has been yours. The bottom line, there are many opportunities to buy yourself love, but you don't have to. I love you. Do you? What was my answer to the beautiful woman's question? I love us. Let's celebrate. What would you like to eat? Greek or Italian?